Hello, good day. My name is Edwin Madu. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about skill employer sponsored visa, also known as Visa 494. Visa 494, skill employer sponsored regional visa. I'm so sorry, it's been a long time on YouTube. Yeah, so many things happening at the same time, but yeah, back to the channel. So today is going to be about Visa 494. Remember, this channel is dedicated to overseas trained pharmacists who are interested in coming to Australia to work, live as a pharmacist. So it's for you guys. Today, we'll be exploring another option of you coming to Australia to work as a pharmacist, and this time around it's going to be through Visa 494, employer sponsored regional visa. So this visa allows employers in regional areas in Australia, designated regional areas in Australia, to source for overseas trained pharmacists who are qualified and who meet all the conditions specified by Immigration Australia to come and work in Australia. I think one of the conditions is this: you need to have positive skills assessment, you need to have at least 3 years post-graduation experience from your country, you need to have competent English test. So we'll be going into details to discuss these conditions for overseas trained pharmacists. Remember, previous video talked about the stages of you coming to Australia, what and what you need to do. So one of the conditions for you to come through this visa, known as Visa 494, is for you to have positive skills assessment. For you to have positive skills assessment, first of all, you need to do eligibility check with Australian Pharmacy Council. This entails you to, send your transcript and other document to Australian Pharmacy Council, who will then assess this to see if it is equivalent to Bachelor of Pharmacy degree in Australia. So if this assessment comes positive, the next step would be for you to sit for Kaps examination, which is known as Knowledge Assessment of Pharmaceutical Sciences. There are so many centers across the world where you can sit for this examination. For people in Africa, I know there is a new center open in Ghana. There is one in South Africa. I also know there is one in Kenya. So just go to Australian Pharmacy Council website. You see the list of available centers and the dates where you can sit for this examination. You can sit for this examination in any of these centers. So you need to first of all do eligibility check. When this is positive, you need to register and sit for Kaps examination. After you pass Kaps examination, you'll be issued with what is known as positive skills assessment. So you've met the number one condition of you applying for this visa. Again, you need to have 3 years post-graduation experience, at least 3 years post-graduation experience. So if you're new graduates from pharmacy school, new pharmacy graduate, you are not eligible for this visa. Maybe you should be looking at 407 visa or other skill visas that you can come to Australia with. But this visa is strictly for pharmacists who have at least 3 years of post-graduation experience, who have competent English language, and also positive skills assessment. It doesn't stop here. You also need to be registered with the head body in charge of regulation of activities of healthcare professionals in Australia, and this body is known as AHPRA. So when you've passed your Kaps examination, you need to apply for provisional registration with AHPRA. You need English test. I'm back to this English test because so many persons have come to me and asked, when I'm registering for AHPRA, when I'm doing my provisional registration with AHPRA, do I need academic IELTS or I need general IELTS? The answer is academic IELTS. So you need academic IELTS to apply for provisional registration with AHPRA. There are other English tests you could use. OET is there, PTE is there. So, but it has to be academic IELTS and not general. You can use general to apply for visa when you're coming to Australia, but in terms of application or in terms of provisional application, you need academic IELTS. So having said this, remember what we said: the first condition is positive skills assessment. which will be issued to you probably a week or 2 weeks after you pass your Kaps examination. Then you need to apply for provisional registration with AHPRA. I've talked about this in my previous video, but if you go to the description section of this video, you will see a link that will direct you to AHPRA website where you can download the form and make the application as the case may be. So when you're applying for provisional registration, you need English test. So there is no way, if you're coming to Australia, I know some persons are scared of doing English tests. You can't run away from English test. So even if you're coming through student visa, some universities might waive English test for you, but if you really want to settle down in Australia in the long run, you will need English test. So PTE is there. A lot of people prefer to go for PTE. You have OET, you have TOEFL, you have IELTS, as the case may be, but you really need to know which one you need. Provisional registration, you need academic IELTS. If you're applying for visa, you can use academic IELTS for both provisional registration and your visa application, but you can't use general IELTS for provisional license application with AHPRA. So after you've lodged your provisional application, it's going to take a couple of months, maybe 2 to 3 months as a case maybe, or even longer. Then you'll be issued with what is called in principle approval. Pending when you come to Australia and present some identification document, as the case may be, you'll now be given a registration number that you can use to do your internship in Australia. So you need to get registered with AHPRA. Because you're outside Australia, you'll be given in principle approval. Guys, if you've passed your Kaps examination and in the stage of lodging your application for provisional registration, all you need to do is just to jump online, go to Seek or Indeed, and start looking for sponsors and start looking for jobs. There are employers in regional areas across Australia who are willing to sponsor overseas trained pharmacists to come here and fill the shortest skill supply you have in pharmacy. Another question I've gotten from person is there a guarantee that if after I've gone through all this process, man, I'm not giving you assurance because I'm not an employer. But the thing is, there's always this thing I tell people, just give it a try and see how it goes. But there is no 100% assurance to say that if you've gone through all this process, man, you are going to get job or visa is guaranteed. But just try, give it a try and see how it goes. People have done it in the past and they are successful. So see how that goes for you guys. So we've thought about the eligibility requirements, and also you have to remember that when you come to Australia, you have to stay with that sponsor for 5 years. So on visa 494 is employer sponsor regional skill visa. So this visa allows you to stay in Australia up to a period of 5 years. You can travel in and out of Australia. You have to remain with this employer throughout the duration of that visa, or maybe if there are other affiliation or let's say department, maybe in a hospital, but all these conditions will be specified in your visa. And again, the good thing about this visa is after 3 years in 494, you can, apply for permanent residence, like for you to become a permanent resident in Australia. So it's really a good one for overseas trained pharmacists who have passed their Kaps examination. So at the point of applying for job, if you've gotten job and you are now discussing the terms of you coming to Australia with the employer, you can discuss the option of 494 if you have at least 3 years post-graduation experience, you have competent English language skill, positive skills assessment. That one is here absolutely there because you passed your Kaps examination. So it gives you opportunity to come here, live and work with that employer for the specified duration in your visa. You can travel in and out of Australia. After 3 years, you will be eligible to apply for permanent residence in Australia. So guys, this is another option. So if you are qualified for this, you can just jump to the description section in this video and you find more information from Australian websites about 494 visa that gives you opportunity to come here to work in regional areas for employers who are looking for overseas trained pharmacists. So description section of this video will give you information on all other conditions you need to make or you need to meet when you're applying for this visa, especially the English language aspect of it. You need competent English. That is easy to get. I think I don't really know, but if you go to description section of this video, it will lead you to the website that will give you more information on the English language requirements. Guys, so many things to talk about when it comes to moving to Australia to work as a pharmacist, but today we are just we focused our discussion on 494, and I believe it's going to help a lot of pharmacists out there who are looking for options to come to Australia. And another thing I have to say is this, please, I'm not an immigration lawyer. So whatever I'm giving you today are verifiable information you can find on Australian immigration websites. Please, if you are looking for an immigration lawyer, I would advise you look for someone who is competent and reliable in your area. I am not an immigration lawyer. Please, whatever I've told you today, whatever you've seen in my channel are verifiable information, and I usually give link or links in the description section of my videos leading you to the official website where you can log on and verify this information yourself. So guys, 494 visa for overseas trained pharmacists who are able to meet the conditions specified in the Australian immigration website. You guys are welcome to join and start the application as soon as possible. If you know you made the application, you have the financial capacity to do it, do not hesitate, because immigration laws keep changing every year. So it keeps becoming difficult on daily, monthly and yearly basis. So the earlier you start, the better for you. So I'm going to see you next time. Until then, do have a lovely day. Bye, Edwin. Bye, guys.